Honorable Anil Jayanta. Honorable Deputy Speaker, thank you very much. In fact, with reference to this question, we have been both proactive and reactive as necessary. However, we were not panicked and not driven by emotions. All the possible risks and consequences have been assessed and taken into consideration accordingly. Diplomatic relations and continuous dialogues with the White House and the US Trade Representative Office are taking place continuously. To highlight some of the actions that we have taken, diplomatic measures have been taken. On 14th February 2025, the ambassador, the Sri Lankan ambassador to the United States has been engaged with continuous discussions, and based on the outcome of this discussion, a particular report has been sent to us. We evaluated that. Then there is another engagement with the International Monetary Fund as well, just to highlight the significance of this issue, since we are working under IMF, EFF, the program. Then another meeting, the Trade Policy Analysis and Strategic Alternative on 28 March 2025. The embassy undertook a comprehensive review of Sri Lanka's current import profile from the United States and analyzed US export performance globally. It was observed that most US goods are already subject to relatively some other para tariffs relative, but not the other tariffs. And accordingly, some proposals also have been proposed. Then on 1st April 2025, the embassy engaged with the US Trade Representative Office, where Mr. Brendan Lynch, Assistant US Trade Representative for South and Central Asia, and Ms. Emily Ashby, Director of South Asia, took part in this particular discussion. And then immediate responding to the executive action, that is on 2nd April 2025, once this announcement was made, the report was submitted. So that is from the diplomatic ends. The other one, His Excellency, the President of Sri Lanka, appointed a special committee comprising industry experts and the government officials, and including to the deputy ministers, to look into this particular situation and propose possible actions to be taken. Accordingly, several meetings were conducted locally. In addition, we had a meeting with the US trade representatives also through a virtual discussion, where we discussed the possible options and the mitigation options to reduce this trade deficit. So even though it is called that the tariff rates are very high, the calculation is based on simply based on the trade deficit divided by its corresponding imports. So therefore, our proposal should also be based on the ways and means of reducing this particular gap. So these things are being discussed and a report is prepared. And we will be having another discussion with US Trade Representative Office tonight through a virtual meeting at 8 p.m. And then we held several roundtable discussion with local expertise well before this particular announcement was made at Lakshman Kadirgama Institute, where politicians and experts took part. In addition, the government also, His Excellency, the President, directly wrote to the President of the United States, Donald Trump, the letter highlighting the possible ways of mitigating these things and the actions that we can take, and the request for collaborations to reduce these tariffs, and that letter has already gone to and presented to White House, and the White House has acknowledged that letter received. So therefore, the idea and the views, especially spreaded in the social media and expressed by the people, that we have not taken appropriate action is not true. We have taken actions, but with respect to this particular situation, we have to understand that this is not a situation between only two countries. This is a global situation. In the United States, the trade barrier, the strategies, and the standard formula has been applied, and there were no room there for any country to proactively negotiate and take a concession. I'll give you two examples. One is India. India went to the United States and had certain discussions about these things, but so there the reciprocal tariff rate is 26%. It is merely 50% of the percentage, that is the trade deficit, that is the trade deficit divided by its import, 85 billion. So it is very clear, it is open for all the countries. That is example number one. Example number two, categorically, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has stressed this, I quote, on April, so this is before the 2nd April, he says, on April 2nd, each country will receive a number that we believe, I emphasize the word believe, I believe, that represents their tariffs. So for some countries, it could be quite low. For some countries, it could be quite high. So Treasury Secretary further highlights that they hope that after the announcement, after the nations received it is reciprocal tariff number, will come to us and want to negotiate it down. So it very clearly says that the negotiation for tariff reduction can take place only after this particular announcement. So just giving maybe summarized answer for the few questions about the market diversifications. So apart from this tariff,
yes,
so that he'll be able to summarize.
I think let me finish first.
Wait until the Honourable Minister has finished?
Yeah, quickly I'll finish. Then apart from these things, as far as the export market is concerned, so we have already explored and exploring the possible market diversifications. We are especially looking for opportunities in GSP plus in the European region, and the UK also DCT as the possibilities, and the China and the Middle East, India and South Asian countries. There are various means and possibilities. In addition, special trade agreements as well. And coming back to detail export and import data for last 5 years, it is clearly indicated that our trade deficit is almost 88% as shown in the numbers. So out of the items that we export to the United States, the 5 items including apparels and the food items and the other the main products, 85% accounts for these 5. So therefore we need to basically pay attention on these 5 items. And about the structure of importation, there are the food items and pharmaceutical products. Of course, for the pharmaceutical products, the tariffs is 0, and turbojets and optical, photographic items, and plastic and other related items. So major categories I just mentioned. So here the tariff rates are not that much. So that varies from 0 to 20. But the para-tariffs are there, of course, we can discuss. So by taking into account all these situations, our team is exploring, and we hope that we would be able to find a good the solution for the country.